Donald Trump is actively trying to purge museums of Black history and whitewash America's history by calling our museums too woke.
Hey lovelies, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Belinda Strana. Thank you so much for all the love and support. To my returning subscribers, to those people that share my videos, leave commentaries, and also educate each and every one of us. You guys are the real MVP. So lovelies. This video made for you, and I thought to share where internet is reacting to the fact that Orange Man is trying to plug the Museum of Black History, saying that it's so work, like it's making the Black history look so terrible that they actually need to change so many things. It's making it look so pure evil. Like, lovelies, I'm just going to roll the clip as well as some of other stitches I was able to put together, because this got the whole of the nation reacting to the fact that what is really going on with this present administration. They are just bent on
Donald Trump is actively trying to purge museums of Black history and whitewash America's history by calling our museums too woke.
Well, we want the museums to treat our country fairly. We want the museums to talk about the history of our country in a fair manner, not in a woke manner or in a racist manner, which is what many of them, not all of them, but many of them are doing. Our museums have an obligation to represent what happened in our country over the years, good and bad, but what happened over the years in an accurate way.
Black American history is barely taught in America as it stands now. There's no universal curriculum in this country to explain the history of what it means to be Black in America and our Black experience. We learn our history from our parents, our grandparents, our elders, and our community, and that's how we've always learned our history. An abridged version of what most people in this country learn is that slavery was bad. Slaves were brought from Africa. They worked on plantations, mainly cotton and tobacco. Lincoln ended slavery, then cut to Martin Luther King and civil rights, and then we've been free. But that is not how history works, right? Our history is omitted from curriculum and omitted from the mainstream society, because that would have to mean that America would admit its portion in systematically oppressing us today. Slavery lasted for 246 years, from 1619 until 1865. And then for 89 years after 1865, we lived under one of the worst apartheid systems in the modern world, where Jim Crow run rampant. In 1954, we got the civil rights era starting, and when we had our leaders fight for our rights to vote, fight for our rights to have fair and free housing, but we were still, the systems in place were already unilaterally spread throughout this country, meaning Black people couldn't do many things, and we had to fight for the next 30 to 40, 50 years, even today, to get access to certain things. But because this isn't taught, and the history and the gruesomeness of that slavery, where we have men raping women at their beck and call, and then stealing those babies from those mothers and then raping them again and getting them pregnant. Black people were sent to breeding farms, mainly in Virginia, to breed with each other, because the strongest slave would breed another strong slave, whether they were family or not. That's where the term motherfucker comes from. The more you know. Lynching people, people bringing their babies to come watch lynchings, antagonizing Black people, terrorizing Black people, eating Black people. There's so many things that happen in America with white people against Black people. And the fact that they're trying to spin this new era of, well, not everybody owned a slave, white people aren't evil, it's always white people bad, Black people good. And that's not the case. The case is, if we don't teach our history the correct way, why would anyone listen to my experience as a Black person? And it's already being challenged. It's every time I put up a video about the Black experience or Black history, people can throw out racist comments very quickly to me. And I'm like, why do you think it's so easy for you to be racist when my experience is exhausting? It is exhausting being Black and have to stand 10 toes down for my history and my culture. Because if it's not us to teach it, they'll wipe it from the history books here. And that's what they're trying to do.
Huh? You saying it right.
He dead serious too.
He's literally.
It's caps.
I don't think I can comment without cussing. It's just horrible.
I'm very, because I can read. I can read, but this don't look. I have to keep rereading it because this isn't a joke.
It's beyond disappointing. It's depressing. But to have the President of the United States saying something like this, it's just unconscionable.
It's not a shocker, to be honest with you. I didn't know he had like that much hate towards us though, or even like our history. It's kind of messed up.
I don't think people who approved of Trump even thought that he was even going to do anything like this.
I mean, this is one of the greatest things about DC is the museums. I mean, woke. I mean, what does that mean? Like, slavery didn't exist? Like, I mean, I don't get it.
He don't want people to see the true colors. Talking about we woke, saying woke is broke. Why is it?
Rather than woke, the museum this afternoon has been absolutely educational in ways that I just simply have never understood before. So for me, it was in cultural enlightenment and humanitarian enlightenment. Very important kind of institution as far as I'm concerned.
Did he ever actually visit the museum, or did he actually ever like come look inside? I don't know. That's crazy.
Go check it out.
Yeah, Trump, come check out the museum, and then.
Somebody like the President should be dragged into this museum and forced to spend an hour every day just looking to see.
I just left from the museum, and I feel like most of the exhibits within it are showing kind of the past, and it might not be pretty and it might not be what people want to know, but they have to know so that we don't go back to where we once were.
Museums are about the truth and history, and that's why they exist, and that's why we go, and that's how we learn and how our children learn.
I'm here at the Museum of African American History in Boston, where we just had an incredible program talking about the need to ensure that history is not erased. Black history, brown history in our country. And I'm here with Dr. Trent, and love to get your view on where we are right now in American history with the Trump administration.
Well, you know, I think what's important to remember is that Black history exists because people cared about preserving these stories, whether it's community folks or scholars. And in this moment, we need everyone's support to preserve these places and spaces that matter. So I encourage folks, you still have some time in the summer and early fall, come visit the Museum of African American History, visit your local museums. We need your support now more than ever, and we're so thankful for Senator Markey for continuing to stick by us in this fight.
Black history is American history. Donald Trump cannot erase the history of the United States of America.
If we've gotten to a point in history where we think just learning about African Americans and Black people is too woke, then I think we're deprogressing in a sense.
President Trump has attacked the Smithsonian Meseums for being woke and out of control. He said everything being discussed is how horrible our country is and how bad slavery was. Back in March, he signed an executive order trying to change what he said was the negative retelling of American history. We're here at the National Museum of African American History and Culture to ask visitors what they think about the president's comments.
I disagree entirely.
How can all the Smithsonians be woke? First of all, that's not true.
It can be uncomfortable what we see in the museum, but it's just history.
I would say 80% of the museum was very fair and historic.
I don't think it's too woke. I think the term saying something is too woke is just you saying, oh my God, I don't want to critically think.
I'd say only a small portion is focused on negativity, and it's mostly focused on success and accomplishments and hope.
I would have liked a little bit more of the positive about the future and all the good things that are happening.
I would say even majority of it is probably not about slavery. But we have to start at where it started, right? We can't tell the whole story without the beginning.
Before I respond to this, go ahead and take a little time to read this. See, this administration's consistent attempts to erase history aren't just shameful, they're dangerous. So I suggest that you buy all the books you can, support historians, and read to your children because the truth matters. How they have convinced themselves that shining a light on the atrocities of slavery means that we're saying Black people are downtrodden and are incapable of success is ridiculous. It means that we're acknowledging the very real trickle-down effect of a system that this country allowed and protected. A system that continues to shape people's ideology and fuel racist structures. And it's emboldening rhetoric that is trying to tell us that it either wasn't that bad or didn't happen at all. And for the 1 millionth time, no one is saying we are still operating under slavery. What we are trying to say is that the legacy of slavery is undeniable, and the fact that so many leaders are still committed to stripping away the reality, like removing it from the Smithsonian, shows that they are whitewashing history. And here's a funny thing, if you actually cared about showcasing the accomplishments of Black people and our successes, then why has Black History Month almost always been reduced to slavery? Slavery isn't our history, that is white history. Our history was stolen from us. And in response to that, we created our own culture, systems, and legacies. And these are the things that America has eagerly capitalized on, but very rarely rewarded. It is not woke to know that slavery happened. I need everybody to wake up, because it's our responsibility to protect history and to teach it. Because if we don't, they're going to rewrite it and completely make it so that it favors them.
Hello, everybody. Let's talk about this. It is so disheartening that I was reading up on how the Trump administration is working and influencing the Smithsonian Black History Museum to align with Trump values. They're saying that, some of the things in Black history, in the Smithsonian or whatever, is creating some type of division. The story of America is a story of division. It is a story of triumph through those obstacles. It is a continuous story of triumphing and overcoming obstacles that were placed before us. And I just don't understand why the Trump administration seems to be so anti-Black when it comes to Black history. I think that our children need to know the truth of Black people in America. And it's so unfortunate that we see that this administration is scrubbing or attempting to scrub Black history from museums and just from everything, so that our children will never ever understand what our people faced, went through, overcame, and continue to fight. So I think it's very unfortunate of where we're going. But if we educate the masses that will be able to go into that voting booth and take the power away from Republicans, we can stop this anti-Black agenda. And I think that we need to energize everyone that believes in unity, fairness, transparency. No matter how much truth hurts, the truth needs to be out there. And I think that we all need to stand together and say, no, we are not going to allow for this anti-Black agenda, the scrubbing of Black history, the scrubbing of the truth of the Black experience in America. We're not going to allow that to happen. Not just Black people, but our beautiful brothers and sisters also. We are not going to stand for the Black experience and Black history to be wiped out of our museums. It's just totally ridiculous. I don't even have words for what kind of person you could be to be down with Black history being scrubbed from the history. of America. I don't get it. But anyway, they're trying to get rid of mail-in ballots. So an executive order is going to be just shifting to another topic for a minute. They're trying to get rid of mail-in ballots, but even though Trump himself mailed in his ballot, so they're trying to get rid of mail-in ballots. What do you think about all of this? Let's talk about this today. What do you think about all of this? What do you think about the scrubbing of the African American experience, the anti-black agenda, all of that, pushing the Smithsonian, our Black History museums to comply with an agenda that removes the Black experience and what really happened with us? What do you all think about that? And are y'all down for the fight to keep truth and keep transparency in America's history? Let's talk about that in the comments.
I'm so sick of that big hog head, pig knuckle, big neck, overweight, want to be fine and have 15, 16 surgeries, still sloppy as a bag of wet mashed potatoes. I'm going to get her. I'm going to get her.
So he is directing his attorneys to go into the Smithsonian Museum to specifically target the slavery exhibits that are in the museum, because he thinks that slavery was not that bad in this country. That's right, folks. Our people who voted for him, how does this make you feel now? First DEI, CRT. Now this. Like I said in previous videos, first it was the undocumented immigrants, or the so-called illegal immigrants. Now they're targeting us. They're targeting our history, saying that slavery wasn't that bad in this country. How many of you guys can trace your ancestry? Because I can trace mine back to just my great-grandfather, who was a slave. My grandfather, who was the son of a slave. And to sit there and say that it wasn't that bad is offensive, and it makes zero sense to me at all.
I first saw that PrigyU. It's a PrigyU, a cartoon, a cartoon that is actually meant for kids. I think it's an educational cartoon. And they decided to start changing some narratives of slavery, or some narrative, some Black history narrative. They started changing it using that cartoon to get to tell kids, or college students, on what really goes on, or what really did goes on during slavery. They tried to change the narrative. When I first saw that, deep inside of me, I knew that apart from this TV series, something will actually come up. I was saying it, I was like, these people are indirectly trying to change the historical fact each and every passing day until when they are done. Until when they are done and finally able to change it. And now, this man just came out to talk about how this museum that carries the Black history, the real raw Black history, he's talking about how it is so woke. I've been hearing about this wokeism all over, and I try as much as I can to understand what most of these people actually meant by woke. Now with this statement, I think I understand what this woke is all about. Woke is all about being very transparent, but like I said, being very educated or being very aware. Now, I think what he meant is that the said museum is too transparent, is too straightforward, is too direct. Like, the said museum actually told the real truth. They showed the real truth. The museum carried all of the real truth of Black American history. And now, it is too, it's too damn truth for him. Like the truth it carries, he can't even carry it. Like he don't like how transparent it is. He just wants to whitewash it, paint it, make it look like something that is not outrageous, or something that, people wouldn't see it like a bad thing. When they started saying that slavery is not a big deal, even a pan-colored woman took to a live TV to talk about how slavery is not a big deal. When they started making such narratives, or will I even talk about a pan-colored man going to a cotton field to show people how you can easily pick curtains, that is no point for reparation. Like, they are just looking for ways to change history, to beautify it and make it look like history is an apprentice. Apprentice, what I mean is, when a slave decided to go learn some certain trade, with a master, and after this slave is done learning the said trade, this slave is being settled with huge amount of money, depending how many years you have served your master. This is how these guys are trying to change slave, or the narrative, or black history, or like the atrocity that happened. They just want to make it like something that is, oh, it was just a bunch of people that came from somewhere, or that was here already, and they decided that, okay, they were just going to work, and after they must have done the work, we pay them off, and that is black history. This is just what they want to do. They don't want the new the upcoming generation to actually see the truth. They don't want it that way. Why is it that this man is just bent on going after things like this? There are so many things you have to go after. There are so many things you have to really fix. He's just looking for ways to get people that looks like me to come out there to protest. He knew deep inside of them that, or deep inside of him, that he cannot get these people deported. He cannot, because they actually built the country according to history, right? So he's just looking for any way, anyhow, to get them out there. If he can get them by crook, or by any means he can get them to just react and do something, then he will now look for a place to hold his hands before coming direct to people that looks like me. He has been doing so many things to get people that looks like me out there, to get them out there. And it is just so obvious. His level of Ray and cis is so obvious. Like, have you ever seen someone that is Ray and cis and is telling you that, yeah, I'm a Ray and cis and I am very proud of it, and I'm showing you that I am Ray and cis. This is just him. Yeah. So many people have been defending him. Oh my God, no, it's not. But this man is showing his real color, showing himself, like unapologetically showing himself. What is so woke about preserving someone's, like, why is this man even going after all of these things? Meanwhile, there are so many other things that he needs to talk about. Like, he just wanted to distract. There's this Epstein file list that people have been waiting for him to release. He's not even releasing that. He's not talking about that. He's bent about going after people that looks like me, the ones in DC. If he's not going after them, he's going after the museum, the historical part. He's going after the black life history. Oh, my God. Anyway, lovelies, why not just leave me your own thought in the comment section of what you think of this video, and please do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying and harassment. We are just here for educational and informative purposes. So, lovelies, if you've not subscribed to this channel, do your girl a huge favor to click on the subscription button. Like, and I will see you, lovelies, when I upload the next one. A huge favor to click on the subscription button. Like, and I will see you, lovelies, when I upload the next one.